my name is Chloe, and today I am here to do a Create Your Own Holiday Adventure wrap-up. So if you did not hear about the Create Your Own Holiday Adventure, this is a readathon that I hosted with Tia from Tia and All the Books, Sarah from The Bookish Knitter, and Bree from Falling for Romance on Instagram. And the four of us came together to do this Create Your Own Holiday Adventure readathon for the month of December leading up to Christmas. So the nature of this readathon was that you could pick one of four paths and create your own holiday adventure. So when I put out my TBR, I said, okay, I'm going to do two paths that makes 8 books. It's manageable. It's good. It's great. You guys know me, and I could not settle there. I needed to get all 4 paths, get all of the prompts done. So that's what I did. I'm so thankful to say somehow I made it. And some of these were really good. Some of these were not so good, but I have read them all and I'm here to tell you about them. So if you see me kind of looking off to the side, it's because I have the graphic on my phone. I will have a picture of the graphic up here so you can see what I'm talking about, but I have it on my phone. So I will just have to look there to remember exactly which prompt goes for which book. So the first path was holiday romance. And the first one on this one is All I Want for Christmas Is You. And it is a book from your wish list. And so I read Our Totally Ridiculous Made Up Christmas Relationship by Brittany C. Cherry. This was a short book. I don't know if it's technically a novella or what, but about this fake dating situation. A girl brings a guy home for Christmas, and it was really, really cute. And the second one is Last Christmas. And that is a second chance romance or something you meant to get to last year. So for that, I read 10 Blind Dates by Ashley Elston. That was so popular last year. I did not get to read it, and I am happy to say I loved it. This one is about a girl who overhears her boyfriend saying that he's going to break up with her, or he's just kind of checked out of the relationship, and so she's like, okay, no, I'll do it before you can. We're done. And so then she goes home to her grandmother's house, I believe, and her family sets her up on 10 blind dates, and it is so cute. Next is Baby It's Cold Outside, and for this, it's read a book in a warm setting. So I read I Heart Hawaii by Lindsay Kelk. This is number 8, and as of now, the final installment in her I Heart series, and I didn't love it. I gave it, I think, 3, maybe 3.5 stars. Wasn't my favorite, but that series is not my all-time favorite, so take that with a grain of salt. Then the last one for this holiday romance path was Underneath the Tree, which is a book you would love to give as a gift. So I said Postscript by Cecilia Ahern. This is the follow-up novel to P.S. I Love You, and I did give it as a gift in some giveaways this year. And I just really enjoyed the book, and for P.S. I Love You fans, I think it would be a really fun gift. The next path is the Holiday Homebody. So the first one for this is White Christmas, which is just read a book with a white cover. And the book I used for that was Gabriel's Angel by Nora Roberts, and I really did not like this book. It's about a guy who stumbles upon this girl who's been in a car wreck. She's 7 months pregnant, and so then it's like a stuck-together romance, but I just didn't like it at all. The next one for the Holiday Homebody is Someday at Christmas, and the prompt for that is a book that gives you hope for humanity. So I said The Seasons of Us by Holly Chamberlain. And now this one is a book that is about this woman. She loses her husband. She is like the matriarch of the family, so she's kind of the grandmother in the story. Her husband dies, and her son lives in the same town as her, but her son is kind of flighty, and so he calls his sister and is like, hey, something is wrong with mom. She's not her typical self. You've got to come check it out. And so the daughter goes home to see her mother, and they kind of had a strained relationship, and then also we're talking about the grieving process and just the way they worked through all that together, and the way the book went from so kind of hopeless to hopeful was really interesting, and kind of gives us hope for humanity. The next one is I'll Be Home for Christmas, and this is read a book set in a small town. So for this, I read Christmas Eve at Friday Harbor by Lisa Kleypas, and this one is the start of her Friday Harbor series, and it's all about this small town. And this one is a single dad, but his daughter is actually his sister's daughter, but she has passed and left the child to him, and so it's the child then goes selectively mute, and so he has no idea what to do, basically. And they go into this toy shop, meet the toy shop owner, and it's the relationship between those two and really them as a family. It was very cute. The last one for Holiday Homebody is Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, and this is a main character over 30. So the book I read for this is The Christmas Mystery by James Patterson, and this is about a detective and his partner, and it's about a mystery, like there's some paintings being stolen and that kind of thing going on, but it's also about the like romance between him and his partner, and they are both over 30. So then the next path is the holiday party animal. The first one for that is Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, and that is read a book with a musical element. So I read I'll Be Home for Christmas by Beverly Jenkins, and I'll Be Home for Christmas is the title of a song, so I made that work. It is a second chance romance about this guy and this girl. He's like a super famous chef. She, I think, is on Broadway or something. So they both are kind of high profile people. They were engaged, but he was a serial cheater, so they broke up, and now they're back together, I mean, in the same vicinity for his sister's wedding. And so it's their second chance romance, and I didn't really care for the book. Serial cheating, I'm like, I don't think that I could be able to forgive that, so it was kind of hard, and it was also a novella, so it felt like kind of quick, and I didn't love the book, but it fit that prompt. Next is Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and this is read a book about a holiday other than Christmas. So I read 8 Winter Nights, and this is a kid's book all about Hanukkah, and it does give a big explanation in the end of the book about like what's going on, the traditions, the games, that kind of thing that are associated with Hanukkah, but throughout the book it's told in poems, and the poems aren't necessarily like, you don't know what's going on unless you've read the back already. So I would think they would be great for kids who are Jewish, but for kids who don't necessarily know about the traditions, I think it would definitely take some like lessons beforehand. Next is City of Silver Dreams, and this is read a book set in a big city. So I read I Heart Forever by Lindsay Kelk, which is book 7 in her I Heart series, and this one is set in New York City. I really enjoyed it. This was one of my favorites of the series. I think I gave it 3.5 stars, maybe 4, and I enjoyed that one. Last one for this is Wonderful Christmas Time, and this is read a book with a fun friend group. So I read The Friendship Pact by Tara Taylor Quinn, and this is just 4 people, but they have been friends since they were teenagers, and now they're adults. They're married, like it's 2 guys and 2 girls. 2 of them are married. The other 2 are also married, and so they're a fun friend group. There's a lot of like canoodling between people going on, but it all ends pretty hopeful and good, so I would say they're a fun friend group. Then the last journey is Kid at Heart. The first song for that is Frosty the Snowman, and that's read a book with snow on the cover. So I read A Winter Dream by Richard Paul Evans. I kind of went on a Richard Paul Evans kick at the beginning of this, and A Winter Dream is a Joseph and the Coat of Many Colors retelling, and so I really liked it, thought it was a good one. Next is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and this is a book with red on the cover, and this is another Richard Paul Evans. I read The Noel Diaries, and this is about a guy who I think his mom maybe dies, and he has to go back and to her house to like clear it out, and come to find out she's kind of a hoarder. So he's like cleaning that out, and then this girl comes, and she's like, hey, I think my mom may have lived with your family when she was 17 and pregnant, and so together they find this thing that is called the Noel Diary. It's a diary from a woman named Noel, and so we're finding out more of their history individually as well as together and how they converge, and I really enjoyed it. Next is Jingle Bells, and that is read a book about a road trip. So I read Sisters by Raina Telgemeier, and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. It is a middle grade graphic novel about 2 sisters who are like 4 or 5 years apart maybe, and don't really get along, but they have to take this road trip. They are going to their grandma's or something's house with their mother, and their dad is flying there, and so they're working through their relationship as siblings, but then also how it brings them together because there's some issues going on between mom and dad, and I just thought it was such a good like conversation starter as well as entertainment, and it's true to Raina Telgemeier's life. It's her and her sister, so I really loved it. Then the last one I read was Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and that is read a book about a naughty or nice hero, your choice. And so I read We Met in December by Rosie Curtis, and I did not like this one very much. This is about a girl who moves into this apartment or like this house or something, and in London. She doesn't really know anybody, and so these people are all strangers that she lives with, and she has like this instant attraction to one of the guys in the house. And so they like kind of start a flirty thing, and then she goes away, comes back, sees him canoodling with somebody else. And so it's kind of their relationship, but they are just friends. And the reason I didn't like it is because the guy has a one who got away. He's got this girl he's canoodling with, and then he's got our main character who is kind of a friend zone person. And yet he's saying he does not want a relationship, yet he's like in forms of relationships with all of these women. And he really like doesn't want our main character dating other people, but also doesn't want her. And I just did not like him at all. And so it's really hard to get behind the relationship. So that was that. So that was the Create Your Own Holiday Adventure 2020. It was a good time. I really enjoyed finding things that fit the prompts. A lot of that was not on my shelf. It was just things that I went out and searched out. And I love that. Like, I love being kind of pushed out of my box. And so I really enjoyed it. And I hope it happens again next year, because I had such a fun time with those ladies, with all of you who did it, and posting updates and all of that. It was so fun. So I hope you had a great time too. If you did it, let me know. How did it go for you? How many paths did you do? Or because it was like a bingo board, you could have made your own journey completely and done a little bit of all of them. I don't care. This had like no rules. So let me know if you participated. Let me know if you'd be interested in seeing it come back in 2021. And that is everything. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful end of the year whenever you're watching this, and we'll talk to you in the next one.